Welcome to the Untrained Experts, a podcast for combat sports and fight news.
Welcome back to Untrained Experts, episode number 34.
Hey, we did this thing.
First time in a hot minute.
In a few weeks. Not too long. It feels way longer than it really is.
Yeah.
It hasn't been that long since we dropped the pod. I think it's been 3 weeks, something like that.
Is that it?
Almost a month.
It feels like way longer than that.
I think technically date-wise it's been over a month since we actually dropped it, but...
Yeah, it feels like it's been 2 months.
I know, just because we had Christmas and everything else. It kind of was, if we were going to take a hiatus, that was kind of the time to do it.
Yeah, the perfect time.
Holidays and shit.
Mm-hmm.
What you been up to?
Man, just working.
All we do is
learning. Trying to learn at this new job and get better at it.
That's all that matters, bro.
But yeah, our schedules don't line up anymore, so like basically the only day we can get together is like every 2 weeks on Sunday. So
which is fine. I mean,
yeah,
podcast every 2 weeks is fine.
Yeah, I think we're gonna
still getting to listen to shit, and
yeah.
I mean, anybody that likes listening to us talk about MMA and stuff and likes MMA, I mean, they're gonna tune in regardless. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we're gonna transition to bi-weekly on Sundays where we're gonna record and then just try to put them out.
Which, you know,
eventually we'll try to get back to weekly again. But
yeah, with it being an MMA mostly podcast, like, you know, I don't think there's anything wrong with every couple weeks. Mm-hmm. Like, it gives us stuff to talk about life-wise. Period.
Yeah,
all the stuff going on, and then we can cover the big MMA fights for sure, and cover the little stuff. You know what I mean?
We haven't really missed anything crazy. I mean. Yeah, UFC's had a few weeks off. I mean, it's not like... Yeah,
the UFC didn't have that many fights in between us being on.
Yeah, there was like the Korean Zombie and Frankie fight. I mean, that fight, and I think one before that, maybe?
Yeah, we can talk about that for sure, because Korean Zombie went savage mode on him.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that, but I don't know, man. Frankie's older. He didn't fight Frankie. Who did he fight?
Yeah, Frankie, yeah.
But Frankie's just older. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it was kind of a short notice thing for Frankie too, in a way. I mean, it wasn't like a full camp for that. Yeah. He kind of stepped up because, you know.
When he's supposed to fight somebody else?
Who, Frankie? Yeah, he's supposed to fight Sandhagen.
Yeah, and then Sandhagen.
Like in a couple weeks. Like, Frankie stepped up to fight Korean Zombie when Brian Ortega went out.
That's what it was. And that's what I was thinking. Brian Ortega.
Yeah, the Sandhagen and Frankie fight was supposed to be coming up, but since Frankie got knocked out. He's not going to fight Sandhagen now.
Because
I think they put. I think
they're going to work out anyway.
Yeah,
it was like
he would have had to win.
How far apart was it? Not even a month.
It's like right at a month or something like that. 5 weeks. You know? But I mean, if Frankie would have went in and knocked him out in the first round, there's a good chance he would have got to fight Sandhagen. Yeah. But I think they actually pulled Sandhagen from the card. I don't think he's even got an opponent anymore. Yeah, so it kind of sucks for him too.
It does suck. He's not making money.
Yeah, but. I don't know.
Sandhagen's still got a good future ahead of him, though. So he's going to have plenty of opponents lined up.
Yeah.
I'm excited, though. There's so many fights coming up, bro.
Yeah, dude.
We got so much
to
talk about this year.
Let me see if we have anything else important to cover. I had a whole list of stuff, like I was telling you, but I lost the damn notes.
It happens.
Of course.
We're super professional here at Untrained Experts.
Yeah, of course.
This is exactly why we made it
weeks off.
This is why we made it the title of our podcast.
We haven't done a podcast since before UFC 245. We never talked about Usman and Colby.
We talked about prior to them.
We talked about
like
upcoming. Yeah, but we haven't talked about since they actually fought. Since that whole card.
Like a lot of it kind of feels like a long time ago.
Dude, it really does feel like a long time ago. Shit. So, because we didn't talk about. Yeah, I mean, those are some good fights.
Oh man, that was a good card.
Yeah. You can start at the bottom. Uriah Faber and Peter Yan? Yeah,
that was a good fight.
Yeah.
Faber just didn't... I mean, he looked good when he first came back against Simone. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, dude, he's had so many fights. I mean, he's just not anybody to play with, dude. Yeah. Plus, he's kind of on the come up. You know what I mean? And that's the hard thing with Faber fighting these guys. They're all on the come up. They're the Faber that he was back when he was...
Yeah, he's fighting the young lions now.
Exactly, and it's hard to beat. I mean, he's 40 years old, bro. It's different. There's a big difference in a 25-year-old savage that's on the come up trying to make a name for himself, and then that 40-year-old guy who's already made a name for himself and is just trying to cement his legacy.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have to do that anymore. Like, I mean, I feel like Faber has a lot of money. I feel like he's just doing it because he loves it. You know what I mean? Like, he just wants to be a fighter.
Yeah.
And that's understandable. I mean, I get it if that's like your love, but like at the same time, you got to hang it up at some point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to see Faber out here getting knocked out either. All the time, but
at least it wasn't a first round. At least he made it, to the last round. But I mean, he still got knocked out. So
yeah, I mean, I think Yan, he had one loss, doesn't he? I don't remember who he lost.
Yeah, he has one loss. Yeah, I remember whose loss was too.
I think it was early.
Yeah. Yeah, he hasn't lost in a minute. He didn't even go back that far.
He's been on a win streak for a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they gave him a hungry line that's on the come up, and that's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, Faber still looked good. It's not like he just got starched in the first round, I mean, he still put up a good fight, but, you could tell Yan was going to win that fight, midway through the second round, you could tell Faber just was just, like, a little weathered already, and it wasn't going well for him.
Yeah. Then we had Marlon Rice, Jose Aldo.
Yeah.
Aldo won that fight, man. I don't care what anybody says.
I agree.
He won that fight.
Although, I mean,
that was
he needed to.
Yeah,
it was close.
It was close at times, but for the majority of the fight,
at 135 as well.
For the majority of the fight, Aldo was controlling shit. He was landing more.
And it's crazy because he looked like shit kind of before the fight. Like, I mean, some people said he looked good, but to me, I mean, maybe that's just the way Aldo looks. I don't know, but it looked like he, cut a lot of weight.
He looked like the way Conor looked at 145.
Yeah, he didn't look healthy, really. I don't know, but he looked better than he's looked.
In the fight, he looked really good, but physically, coming up to the fight, he didn't look that great. He looked sick,
That's what's weird, though. It's like almost... You don't see that very often. You don't see a guy that looks like shit coming into a weight cut and then fighting better than he does normally. Like, that almost never happens.
Yeah.
Aldo looked good. I thought he won too.
Yeah. I
was disappointed. But at the same time, Marlon did good too. I mean, it was just a close fight. I could see how you could give it to him, but Aldo landed more strikes. I mean, at the end of the day, he did more. I don't know, man. These judges, just, you never know.
Yeah. I definitely think that there's no doubt that I think Aldo won that fight. And I really going into it, I was pulling for Rice, but honestly, I think Aldo won it, and it wasn't even...
I don't know, I really don't know where Morales goes from here. Was he looking for a rematch? I mean, with Cejudo, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
Yeah, we don't even know what's on the plate for Cejudo.
Yeah, speaking of Cejudo, he gave up 125 belt.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think he relinquished the belt because he was going to have to fight Joseph Benavidez. They were gonna and I think he's wanting to fight at 135. He's wanting to defend that belt, and Dana's like, you need to defend 25 next. And I think he just ended up giving the belt up.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's better at 35 anyway.
I want to see him fight Dominic Cruz next.
That would be a good fight.
Yeah.
Dominic's just so smart.
I know Dominic just did Brendan Schaub's Food Truck Diaries thing, but I haven't watched it yet. But I'm sure he talks about it on there. Because they both been kind of calling each other out.
Smart, like that would be a really good fight.
I saw.
They've never fought at all, have they, in the past?
I saw a tweet thing saying where Dominic said that Henry wants to call himself the GOAT, but he's got to beat me first, and then you can cement yourself as a GOAT. So
I kind of agree, just because of how good Dominic is.
Dominic's been around since the beginning of the 135.
His only major loss is Cody Garbrandt. Yeah. I mean, and that was they never got a rematch. Could have anything could have happened in that fight. On top of that, Dominic's already done so much in the UFC. Well, he's so good, though. Mm-hmm. He's literally one of the best analysts they have because he knows the sport so well.
Dude. He's one of the best minds in the game.
All kinds of UFC fighters. He's just, I think that'd be a great fight,
He's got one of the best.
It definitely wouldn't be a way for Cejudo to cement his legacy if he's that good, I think he's beaten some good guys, obviously, but, not anybody better than Dominic Cruz. That would definitely...
Well, DJ.
Yeah,
I would give DJ the edge over Dominic.
I kind of gave DJ that win in that second fight as well. Part of me just kind of thinks they wanted to send DJ off.
I wanted DJ to win that fight, and I really thought it was close enough that he could have maybe edged it out. But I'm not mad with him giving it to Cejudo just because.
Plus, he's dominating, making all kinds of money, living his best life in Japan. So.
Yeah, DJ's doing the best.
In Japan,
what's best for him now? It's
or Korea.
Thailand, I think, right? It's somewhere. Damn, I don't know. We're making ourselves sound real stupid.
We're not trying to get caught in a lie.
Yeah, it's
it's over there, bro.
Yeah, it's over there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Doing their thing.
Why can I not think of it?
They obviously like it, though.
Yeah.
They're obviously getting paid well.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind living over there.
It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool for a while. I think you get tired of it eventually, but...
Then you had Amanda Nunes and Jermaine Durandamy.
Man, Durandamy, she's a bad bitch. She put up a really good fight.
Yeah. Amanda
the
just...
whole entire fight. Amanda just...
She's just a tank, man.
She is a tank, but that's one of the toughest fights she's had in a while. Durandamy was not going down. And she is super tough. I mean, Durandamy is like a world-class kickboxer, so... I mean, part of me thought that she would at least give Nunes some type of trouble, being that she is such a good kickboxer, but it just shows you how good Nunes is, man. Nobody, I mean, it doesn't matter if you're good at kickboxing, it doesn't matter if you're good at jiu-jitsu, it doesn't matter if you're the best wrestler in the world. Nunes, she knows how to beat you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the only thing left for Nunes would possibly be a Shevchenko rematch.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally all I could see for her. I don't know who else would want to fight her. I mean, I don't see a reason for her to fight anybody else besides possibly a Shevchenko rematch. If she wins that, she's fucking retire. I mean, who else are you going to beat? I don't know how long she wants to stick around, but I mean, she's already made a shit ton of money and definitely cemented her.
I know she was talking about retirement. I don't know how soon, or how many more fights she wants to take, but I don't really see her taking too many more.
I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know why you would.
Didn't her and what's her name just get married? Or they got engaged or something?
Yeah, her girlfriend. I can't remember her name.
Nina Ansarov?
Yeah. And then
I think so.
I think it's how you pronounce her.
Yeah. Yep, she's just the greatest ever.
She is the greatest female ever. I mean, she's beating everybody. There's the beat, all at home.
She starts Cyborg in the first round.
Starched Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
I mean, she's literally beating everybody. It's crazy.
Yep. Then we had Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski.
Man, I hate to see Max lose.
Me too.
I don't know why. He's just the nicest guy. I just hate to see him lose. And not that Volkanovski did not put up a great fight. Like,
I mean,
he kept the pressure.
He definitely won. As much as I hated to see it, he definitely won.
Yeah, I mean, it was. But the thing is, it was close enough.
Yeah.
That they could have given it to Max. I think. I don't know. It's tough.
I don't know.
I mean, Volkanovski was just on him so hard.
Yeah.
I mean,
Max just didn't look like himself. It's like he was surprised at the power, maybe, or the... I don't know what it was.
I listened to him on Rogan's podcast.
Really?
He's been on there, and he talked to... I mean, he thought he won, which that's, most of the time when a fighter loses a decision, a lot of times they think they win, and then you watch it from an outside perspective, but... I mean
watching it live...
He was talking on the podcast, he's like, everybody thinks, like...
It is what it is.
That's what he said. He's like, it is what it is, man. He's like, I'm 28.
Yeah.
He's like, y'all think I'm old or something? He's like, I'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was.
I mean, watching it from an outside perspective, as a huge Max fan, really wanting Max to win, I thought Volkanovski won.
Oh yeah.
And that was with my bias towards Max and everything. I mean. There's no.
I watched that entire fight, and it was a good fight. Like,
it was a good fight.
It wasn't like Max was just getting touched all the time. I mean, but Volkanovski just those inside leg kicks he was doing was
Max's leg kind of fucked up.
Yeah, Max's leg. I mean, which even on the podcast, because it was only like a week later when he did it, or less than a week, and he was like Joe was asking him about his legs, and he was like, "My legs are fine, man." And even after he was like, after the fight, I was fine. Like, everybody thought my legs were that bad, but he's like, they weren't. Like, I mean, I was walking fine, like, my legs were not that bad, but the way he was hitting with those leg kicks, it was definitely, like, hindering his game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, Max was not prepared, and he said on the podcast as well, he was like, when I come back, he's like, obviously I'll be prepared for that. That won't happen again.
Yeah.
But and the way he put it was like, that's the one weakness I had in that fight was him landing those inside leg kicks. And I better prepare for that and fix that hole, and I beat him, is basically what he said. And so, I mean, and they're talking about a rematch, and I don't see what else you could do for a champ like Max. I mean, I think you got to at least give him one rematch and see what happens after that, and then go from there. But
it's not like he got knocked out or anything. It did go to decision. It was a good fight.
Like a good close fight. Obviously, you could tell, but it was still close. It wasn't like he just got...
Yeah, he's been champ for... How many years? I mean, he's been champ for a hot minute.
Beat Aldo twice.
He's been beating everybody,
He's just, and that's the thing. He started when he was 20. He lost to Conor, and he lost a couple fights early, but he was literally 20 years old. Like, he was super young.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a different game. But I think he'll get the rematch again and bounce back from that.
Yeah, for sure. And then Usman Colby.
Man, those dudes just stood up and banged, didn't they?
It was a good fight.
No wrestling, I loved it.
Yeah, it was a good fight to see him just
It was making a hit, bro.
Trying to knock each other out.
Honestly, it was kind of getting on my nerves, if I'm being honest. But as a fighter, like, he's just amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't deny how good he is. Like, his wrestling is ridiculous, and he doesn't even have to use it, you know?
He's not quite as annoying as Colby.
He's knocked out dudes, you know what I mean? And he put hands on Colby Covington, who we thought was, like, you know, one of the toughest fighters.
Yeah.
And, I mean, both their cardios looked pretty good until that round that Colby broke his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
After Usman broke his jaw, Colby wasn't the same.
Was it the second or third?
Second or third. It was third round, I think.
Was it third?
Yeah, going into the fourth, he had a broken jaw.
Yeah, in his corner, he's like, I think I broke my jaw.
Yeah.
And it was really just fractured. I bet it still was a broken jaw. I mean, you're going to feel it, you know? It's not like his, but it's not like his jaw was like broken and hanging.
Bro. I mean, he probably the worst pain he felt was when the fight was over. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He had to go sit in the locker room and feel the fucking jaw. Like, that's when it hurt. Like, during the fight, though, he was probably just ready to bang, keep going.
Yeah.
You know, but you could definitely feel that little sting there. I guarantee you. Even with the adrenaline, he felt that sting, and he was like, damn.
Yeah, he knew. He knew it was broken, so.
Yeah, it's terrible.
He knew before anybody else.
I hate to see any fighter get hurt like that, like in a fight. You know, I don't.
At least it's not the type that has to be wired shut and everything.
Yeah,
it's not like that type of a broken jaw, you know. It's just a fractured, you know.
Yeah, it'll heal up pretty quick. I mean,
non-displaced mandible fracture, I think that's what they call it.
I think Colby will be back. I mean, with another. I mean, they'll probably give him another big fight, I would imagine. As long as he keeps being him, you know what I mean? And following this narrative that he's, you know, drawn for himself, I think he'll be fine. I mean,
he definitely.
I don't know who he would fight next, really. I mean, they could give him a Masvidal shot, but I don't think Masvidal even wants to fight him.
I don't think he would care to. Masvidal wants the money fights, and Colby's not necessarily bringing money fights yet.
No, I think, you know, Masvidal's hoping that Conor beats Cowboy and gets that Conor fight. That's literally what he's hoping for right now, guaranteed.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Usman's got hands, man. That was a good fight.
Yeah. His boxing was rather impressive. I mean,
yeah, he's came a long way. His boxing wasn't that good for a while.
Yeah, it was more of a take you down and pound on you.
All he was.
But he just stood and, I mean, there wasn't a lot of head movement. And then neither guy was really getting out of the way. They were just eating shots and throwing right back. But it was fun to watch. But
yeah, they just get
fundamentally,
the fight you want to see though.
Fundamentally, it wasn't a great fight. But you know,
yeah, it wasn't real technical. It was just, it really was just them banging out.
It was. I mean, it was fun though. It was fun to watch.
It was a good fight.
I was glad to see that rather than a bunch of wrestling and just rolling on top of each other for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Even though that can be good.
So much better than the freaking Usman.
Woodley
fight. Yeah.
I mean, a really high technical wrestler and like Damian Maia and Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I mean, on the ground, those exchanges were really fun. You know.
Yeah, just because they're both so good.
Yeah, but like. So it can be fun at times, but for the most part, I'd rather just see 2 guys that can box.
It's just more entertaining always.
Yeah.
You know, especially in UFC because it's just different. Mm-hmm. You know, when you see 2 boxers box, it's just like they're supposed to be doing that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But when UFC guys just bang it out like that for 5 rounds, it's not something you see very often, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed it. It was a good card, really.
Yeah, it was. Let's see, that was. And then the next week was the Korean Zombie and Frankie Edgar.
Yeah. Who else was on that card?
A lot of people that I can't pronounce.
Any other big fights was there? I want to say there might have been one of them.
Yeah, there was.
That card was early.
What's his name?
It was 7 a.m. card.
It was one of those weird times. 4 a.m. Volkan Ozdemir and Alexander Rakis.
Ozdemir's the only one I recognize.
Yeah, and then Doo Ho Choi got knocked out.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean...
Wasn't many well-known fighters.
Oh, yeah.
Korean Zombie, man, he's one of those, he can beat almost anybody. He's one of those gatekeepers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, either you can beat him or you can't.
Yeah.
I mean, he lost to, what's his name?
Oh, Yair?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's just like...
That's kind of a freak thing, though.
I mean, he's still undefeated, isn't he?
Yair... I think he has 1 loss.
I couldn't remember if he... I don't remember him losing much.
Yeah, let me look.
But,
I want to say he has a loss.
But... I mean, that knockout was just like a freak knockout. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Zombie was on his head that whole fight.
Yeah, he was winning the fight.
Yeah, he probably would have won if he didn't get knocked out in the last 3 seconds.
The last 1 second, really. It was like at the buzzer.
God, bro, that was one of the best knockouts of 2019.
It was so crazy.
That was intense.
Yeah, he's got 2 losses.
Yeah. He's still good, though. I mean, honestly, he's in his prime right now, too. I think this is the best he's ever been fighting. He just beat somebody recently.
Jeremy Stevens. Yeah, he lost to Frankie Edgar, TKO, Dr. Stoppage, and Roberto Huerta.
That's a respectable loss.
Yeah.
Frankie.
Yeah.
That division's still pretty. I mean, it's still got a bunch of killers in it, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Tommy's a killer. Yair's a killer. I mean, Stevens is still a killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, next, or is it this Saturday? No. Well, this coming Saturday. Next Saturday, technically, because it's on Sunday, but whatever. We got UFC 246.
Yeah. It's so crazy, bro. I can't believe we see Conor McGregor on a card.
Yeah, it's so weird.
You just never see it.
Mm-hmm. We'll start at the bottom. Anthony Pettis and Carlos Diego Ferreira.
Let's go. I'm always rooting for Pettis.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Showtime's the shit.
Yeah. I'm always going to roll with Pettis.
He's so nice, bro. Like,
he's such a cool dude.
And he'll Superman punch you into another fucking...
And his wife is a dimey dumb.
Yeah, I want his life. I don't want to get punched like he's been punched, so I'll pass on that.
Yeah. And then we got Claudia Cadelia and Alexa Grasso.
Cool
That should be a good fight. Yeah. Hard to pronounce.
I love watching like female fighters.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it's just different. Like, it's like, I don't know, it's just not the same.
Yeah. Claudia's a little tank too. She's super jacked.
I'm really intrigued by all the female fights. We can definitely talk about Rose coming up too. So many good female fighters out there.
Yep. And then we got Alexei Olenek and Maurice Green. Alexei Olenek with the 71 fight record.
Jesus, I forgot he had that many fights. I know. Retire.
He's been fighting forever.
And then you got Holly Holm and
Raquel Pennington.
Yeah, that's a good fight.
Yeah, that'll be a really good fight.
I mean, Holly Holm's always entertaining. Raquel's been looking good too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for that one, but golly, the cream of the crop.
Yeah, main event: Conor McGregor, Donald Cerrone.
It's so weird, bro. Like, I can't even look at that card. Like, it's just weird to me. Like, Cowboy Cerrone and Conor McGregor. Like, it's the most random fight.
Conor says Cowboy says he's not gonna take it to the ground.
Yeah,
he's gonna box with him.
That's a terrible idea.
It really is, but
you get a rap, Cowboy.
You know how Cowboy is.
He wants to get knocked out and get his money and dip.
You know how Cowboy is. He knows that's gonna be the most fun fight for the fans, and he wants to make it the best for
That's true. I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. I would rather him do that because it's gonna be super entertaining. Because Cowboy can't bang. He's fight to the point where he's weathered, bro. And I don't think Gaethje hits any harder than Conor does. Mm-hmm. I mean, Gaethje's a savage, but like what he did to Cowboy, I don't want to be that guy, but like I just see the same exact thing happening with Conor.
I know.
If Conor touches him with that left hand, he's gonna wobble, bro. Like it's just gonna happen. He's not the same Cowboy he was 5 or 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
This fight really has something for if you're a fan of either guy. It really has something for you. You know what I mean? Like if you're a fan of Conor McGregor, number one, you get to see Conor back, and if Cerrone does decide to stand and bang with him, you might get to see Conor knock somebody out.
Yeah.
And then if you're a fan of Cerrone, you get to see Cerrone get a huge payday.
Huge.
And there's a good chance if he decides to take it to the ground, he has an advantage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a good fight.
It could happen, yeah.
And Cerrone's got head kicks and leg kicks, and he's got a pretty good arsenal. Yeah.
When it comes to weapons in the game, it's just does he have the tank, and does he have does he have the mentality to still stick in a fight like that and take those shots that Conor is going to be putting on him.
Does Conor can get his timing back? Does Conor come back like the striking he used to have? You know what I mean? Like, we see the old Conor. It's going to be a short night for Cowboy.
That's what I'm saying. Like if we see the Conor that beat up Alvarez or that knocked out Aldo, this is as good as it gets when it comes to an elite level striker and elite level UFC. MMA guy, anybody. That's top tier. Like when he was at his best. Guys don't starch guys like that unless they're one of the best. Especially the guys he was starching. You know what I mean? When he was just starching nobody. He was starching the best in the world. Yeah. Jose Aldo, literally.
Eddie Alvarez.
Literally, they were all champions.
Yeah.
Yeah. he just ran through him. So if it's that Conor,
picked him
it's
apart.
a bad night. But if it all is a perfect storm, it could turn out to just be a good ass fight.
I hope it is. I hope it is. I don't want to see
a 5-round banger where they just go at it. I'd love to see that.
I really don't want to see
out on top with a decision. I mean, that's what I want to happen. I don't want to see Cowboy get knocked out. I definitely don't want to see Conor get submitted or something. I want to see it, just a really competitive, tough, 5-round fight.
I'd like to see a really close, good fight. And I'd like to see Conor win.
Yeah.
Just because I want to see Conor get back to
and that's the thing. Cowboy's at the end of his career. Connor's not even.
This is more for me. This is more seeing Cowboy get a payday.
That's what makes me happy.
If Cowboy wins, cool. But I want to see him get the payday that he deserves for as long as he's been doing the damn thing and putting on great fights. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And he's never got
He's never just got a huge payday that he can ride off in the wind with, and this is it. Literally, he's going to make so much money from this fight. He's good for the rest of his career. You know what I mean? He can go retire and go do all the crazy shit he likes to do and stop worrying about fighting dudes. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he probably won't. It's the fight, but at the end of the day, I think he, as much as he loves fighting, I think he is the type that, at this point, is fighting because he wants money. You know what I mean? And, there's nothing wrong with that because that's been his career this whole time, and he deserves to ride out on the win with money if he wants.
He really doesn't need to be worried about a title because he's kind of bigger than a title.
Well, when he lost to Tony, I think those dreams just went out the window.
And then Gaethje,
it was just submitted.
Gaethje kind of put the nail in the coffin there.
Yeah.
You're not going to leapfrog anybody back to the top. But, I could see Conor going straight to the title shot if he wins this.
Oh, yeah.
Not necessarily that he deserves it.
Bro. That's all he needs is a Cowboy. Cowboy's Conor's gatekeeper right now. He beats Cowboy. He has whatever fight he wants. I believe. At the end of the day, he's always going to have Dana in the palm of his hand. Whatever fight he really wants. I know I see a lot of people saying he's going to fight Khabib again, but I don't want to see it at all.
I don't really care to. Where does he go though? This fight's at 170, which made a lot of sense for Conor for having so much time off. Come back at 170 so you don't have to cut as much.
Is that where he wants to be, though?
I don't know. That's the thing.
That's what I don't know.
If he wins this fight...
He's talked about... I think somebody interviewed him not too long ago, a few weeks ago about it, and he just said that it makes more sense for him to have more weight. He said he feels better at that weight.
He's jacked right now.
Yeah.
You saw that picture he posted on
Instagram. That probably walks around 170, 180 normally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe even 190. He gets pretty thick.
Exactly. He probably walks around at a decent weight, and 170 is good for him, you know what I mean? He doesn't have to go crazy and kill himself in training camp to get down in weight. All he's got to worry about is winning the fight and what he needs to do to win the fight. If Conor's completely focused on just that and not weight cutting too.
Look at the last time we saw him at 170 and he beat Nate.
Against Nate whenever he was actually prepared. Because that first fight against Nate, 2-week notice? He never fought at 170. Of course he was going to lose that fight. And he still looked decent in that first fight. He just wasn't ready for all the pressure that Nate was going to put on him. He didn't know that he couldn't he just couldn't. Nate's a different guy. He's one of those guys, he's already hard enough to knock out. And then Conor goes up in weight on a 2-week notice at a heavier fighter and obviously was in over his head that first fight because he thought he was going to... Nate's face was jacked up, but that's the thing. It's hard to knock guys like Nate out, especially at a higher weight with a guy that's smaller than him,
So the thing is, my question is, if Conor wins this fight and they want to give him a title shot, does he fight Jorge? Or does he try to go after Khabib again? Or does he go to Usman? You know what I mean?
I think they would throw him
170. They shouldn't. I don't think they should. That's not a good night for Conor. That's not a good night for Conor at all. But
fight Usman ever.
the Jorge fight's really fun, and that's a good money fight.
If Usman was to fight Conor at 170 like he fought Colby, I don't know. It's just so weird because they're all different fighters.
Yeah.
Conor relies, on those heavy punches to put you down pretty early. But Colby is the type of guy that can stick around for 5 rounds and punch on you a bunch.
Yeah, see, Conor doesn't have that cardio to stick around for 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Especially in trading the way that...
But he's capable of knocking anybody out, I think.
Yeah.
Even at 170, I think he can knock anybody out. But it depends, man. It's tough. I don't think he should fight Usman.
The Jorge fight's really fun.
The Jorge fight's fun because they're both just brawlers. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, they're both going to try to knock each other out. Jorge's not going to drag him to the ground, even though he could.
Yeah,
I don't think he would, though.
Yeah.
He's the type.
I think he will stay with him.
Jorge is a tough guy. He's an ego type of guy too, though. He's going to want to knock Conor McGregor out to prove a point. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just like he wanted to knock Ben Askren out. He wasn't going to try to go to the ground with Ben Askren. Mm-hmm. He just wanted to knock him out.
Look what he did with Nate. he just stood with him and pieced him up the whole time.
He's the backyard fighter. He's got the jiu-jitsu if need be.
And his boxing's great.
He's not the type to usually bring a guy down first. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If he gets taken to the ground, he can bang out with you down there because he does have the skills. I don't think he ever wants to. He just wants to knock you out. That's the guy he's always been.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd much rather knock somebody out.
That is a good fight, though. I mean, I don't know. Masvidal's just bigger than Conor, though.
Yeah.
He's scary. I wouldn't want to fight him after what he did.
Man, I don't know.
We've never seen Conor get knocked out, though, so...
Yeah.
I mean, Conor really is a good technical fighter when he's on his game. Like, he's not easy to knock out. You're not... I mean, you can put hands on him, but he's just not the type that he's going to let you put those type of power shots on him and knock him out. He's just... I mean, I've never really seen him take super hard... I mean, the hardest shot I think he ever took was from Khabib, and that's because he was so focused on not getting taken to the ground.
He wasn't expecting to get...
jaw jacked like that, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
I mean, despite all the stuff on the outside, I mean, I've judged Conor for the little shit he's done, but, like, from what I see from an outside perspective, with interviews Conor has done from his past, like, I've always liked him as a fighter. Even, like, his shit talking has always been nothing but funny to me, and I don't know, people hate too much on Conor, I think. Like, he's done some little dumb shit, but he hasn't done anything, like, unforgivable, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, dude, people always want to hate on Conor and just run their mouths about him and stuff just because they don't like what he says
or what he's done.
But like, look how many shit talkers there are. That's the whole.
I think what makes me so mad about people that hate on Conor, some of those same people will be like, Jones is the GOAT. He's the best ever. He has done no wrong, basically. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's like, John Jones has done way worse shit than Conor's ever done. Conor punched another man. Yes, he was an older man, but, like, people blew that way out of proportion. Like, at the end of the day, that guy might have been talking shit. And, I mean, anybody else in his shoes might have done that. You know what I mean? But since he's Conor McGregor and he's got an image to portray, like, he gets in trouble for that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, he punched another grown man in a bar. He didn't fucking... What was it John did with the pregnant lady? Like, he didn't do crazy shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's never failed a drug test. Like, I mean, give the guy a break. Like, he's not that bad.
Yeah, he's really not. It just, people don't like when people talk. They don't like talkers, but I mean...
That's the thing, they envy him. Most people just envy him because, like, bro, come at the end of the day, like, most of these people who do hate him would trade places with him in a second.
This day and age in UFC, you have to build your own... You have to build your own way because they don't promote fighters the way they should. So these guys who talk a lot and are always in the news because of what they're saying to other fighters and what they're tweeting and this and that, it's them promoting themselves so that they can get bigger fights and so they can make more money.
Yeah, Conor took that and ran with it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And that's why so many people dislike him. Because of the things he said, but who cares?
But at the end of the day,
if you're that offended by words, you don't need to be watching.
One reason I respected Conor, though, is at the end of the day, he didn't do what... he's not doing what Colby did. He wasn't faking it.
Yeah.
Colby has been faking it.
Oh, yeah.
Colby's whole deal, Colby's a nice guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's a genuine dude for the most part from what I heard, anybody that knows him, but he's totally different online and on TV. Conor's the same guy no matter what. He gets on an interview or on an Instagram, like, I mean, at the end of, like, he's a nice guy and stuff, but at the end of the day, when he's shit-talking, that's all organic. He would have done that without the cameras in front of him. It's not the same with Colby.
Mm-hmm. And Conor's always called all of his shots, and that's one reason why I love him. Like,
really said he was going to knock out Jose Aldo in like the exact way he did, and he did it. Like, I mean, he's always backed up his shit talking. That's why, you know, people are more.
And he's always owned up to his losses. Every time he loses, he comes back and he says,
he's like, I'll be back.
"I did this happened. I see where I messed up. There was a good fight." You know, whatever. He always tweets, you know,
that's always, I mean,
post some on Instagram or whatever.
That's the only reason to me why a Khabib rematch might make sense. Because Conor, I really think he is that good that I mean, anytime you've ever seen him in a rematch, he's always been a different fighter than he was against that guy the first time. He's good at correcting his mistakes with certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, it might happen just because it's UFC and anything could happen. And I guarantee you, if Conor and Khabib both wanted that, it would happen, but I've already heard Khabib say he doesn't want that fight again.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, I don't really care if it happens or not, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'd still watch it.
I don't really need to see it happen, but, I mean, if they decide to make it, I'm going to watch it.
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I still think Tony's going to end that Khabib streak, but we'll see.
I'm hoping. Tony's my boy.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping he gets it done because, man, that fight is so good, though.
I have so many favorite fighters, but Tony's one of my favorite fighters.
He's one of my favorites, for sure. I mean, there's so many guys I like in the UFC.
Yeah.
Just period. I mean, there's Max, Tony. There's guys in every division that I respect and that I like watching as a fighter. But, I mean, Tony and Khabib, I've talked about this with a few people, and man, Tony on the ground. Khabib's never fought anybody like Tony on the ground. Ever. He's never dragged somebody to the ground like Tony. I mean, who is the toughest opponent he's had so far in his career? Would you say?
Well, Michael Johnson, because he beat him.
Well, yeah. No,
you're talking about Tony. You're talking about Khabib. Okay.
I mean,
it's probably a toss up between. Well, recently it's probably a toss up between Dustin and Conor. Honestly,
that's what I'm saying. But like,
they both put up the best fight. But
if I compare all these fighters, I mean, I think Tony can beat everybody.
Yeah,
I think Tony would do very well against Dustin or Conor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think so too.
Just because he's so tough and his cardio's so good. If he can hang around 2 or 3 rounds with Conor, it's gonna be tough for Conor to get through that fight, especially if he's beating up on Conor like he beats up on everybody. I mean, I don't know. Dude. I think that's 100% the best fight of 2020. I think it's gonna be. I'm more excited for that than Conor Cowboy. I mean, I'm excited for Conor Cowboy because I'm a Conor fan, and that's just an intriguing fight just to see what the future's gonna be with Conor and everything. But I mean, dude, that's gonna be the best fight of the year. It could be Tony.
I think so too.
Rooting for Tony 100%.
Yeah, it's either going to be that or it's going to be Izzy and Yoel.
True. I forgot
that. I just remembered that was coming up.
We can talk about that too.
Yeah, it's
weird that Yoel's getting a title shot. I've heard a lot of people say, but dude, at the end of the day, we don't really. I mean, it was such a close fight, him and Costa. You cannot really say that he wasn't deserving of that win.
I thought he won it.
I thought he won.
Yeah.
Barely lost to Whitaker that second time. Honestly, he could have been the champ. If they gave him that win and it was close enough that he could have won that fight as well.
Yeah, those fights. The fight with Whitaker was so close.
He's still one of the best.
Yeah.
I don't think he can beat Izzy. I don't think he can. As big as he is and as tough as he is, Izzy's just as tough, I think. I mean, Izzy has showed us with fights like Gastelum and the wars he's been in, and how technical he is, how well he picks his shots. I just don't think Yoel can hang with that.
Before we move on real quick, I want to say on this UFC 246 prelim, there's a fight that y'all need to look out for. Sadiq Youssef and Andre Feely.
Yes. I'm excited for that fight.
That's going to be a really good fight. So that Sadiq Youssef dude is a monster.
Yeah, he's a savage.
Yeah.
That's a good fight to look out for.
Yeah.
What card? Is that the Conor card?
It's on the prelims.
Dude, I need to call in. I can watch it. That'll be good.
Yeah, at least it's a night card. Well, I mean, for me, it's good for me now because I'll be off like right when it starts.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
that'll be dope. You can keep me updated on it.
Yeah. Yeah, but so since we last recorded, a few things that happened. Rory McDonald signed with PFL.
Yeah, I remember seeing that. Kind of weird.
It was weird. It kind of caught me off guard because I thought he was going to fight. I thought he was going to fight Douglas Lima again.
Well, yeah, I thought either he would fight Lima or retire, to be honest with you. Whatever.
Yeah.
Chase the bread, I guess. I mean, if they're paying well enough, it's worth it, then go for it. I mean, fight in every organization, I guess. I wish the best one because Rory's a good-ass dude, but I don't know. I mean, who's he going to be fighting over there that's
I don't know.
intriguing to anybody?
I hope he wins the $1 million.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a tournament. It's a tournament thing, so hopefully he wins the $1 million. I mean, I don't know.
Which is the best one? I'm probably not going to tune in, though.
I'll try to catch it if I can. Like if I know that
I'm not going to make it a priority.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch the whole thing to get to that. But if I can hop in and just watch that fight, I'll watch this fight. You know what I mean?
Same.
But I'm not going to try to just start watching PFL and learn everybody and all that. Just not enough. It's not intriguing enough for me.
We're already having a hard time keeping up with all the fighters in the UFC. There's so many UFC fighters and Bellator fighters. We can't keep up with all of them, bro. I mean,
yeah. Then UFC 248, March 7th, we're going to have Robert Whitaker and Jared Cannonier.
Yeah, good fight, man.
Really good fight.
Cannonier's on the come up. I think he can give Whitaker problems for sure.
Yeah.
Then again, it's Whitaker, so.
Yeah. You never know, man.
Yeah.
Whitaker's he's just a tough dude.
Yeah, he's one of the, it's just crazy what Izzy did to him, though. That's why I'm like, I don't know who beats Izzy, to be honest with you. I don't know who. I hope Yoel, at least puts up a good fight. I don't see anybody in the beating him, though. I just really don't. Like, I'm not going to bet against him ever.
Yeah, me either. They also announced Wilder and Fury 2, February 22nd.
Yes, sir. Coming up.
Yeah, that's
a year before you know it.
Yeah.
We'll finally get to find out which one's the best.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not another draw.
Don't jinx it. It's not what we need. I don't know, man. That's always an intriguing fight. They could fight 10 times, and every single time it's going to be an intriguing fight because Fury is such a good boxer, and Wilder can knock you out in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at the end of the day, anything crazy could happen when you have that two style of boxers. One that's just, 40 knockouts, and then one that is hard to knock out.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what you want to see, really, when it comes to a boxing fight, because it ends up being a crazy ending.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it was with them. He managed to land that shot, and then you got this crazy motherfucker that wants to rise from the dead, and, almost win the fight still. So, I'm excited for that.
Yeah,
boxing needs that. They've always needed that, and I'm glad they're lucky it worked out the way it did, and I'm glad it did. And they've won their last couple fights, and they're good to go again. So
yeah,
it'll be dope.
Aren't they talking about Earl Spence and
Crawford? Yeah, I mean, I love Earl Spence. I'm like a huge fan, but I just don't think he's ready for that.
Man,
I don't know who is ready to fight Terrence Crawford.
Is he recovered from his wreck?
I guess he's good now. Yeah.
I mean, shit.
It wasn't
launched out of a car.
He didn't have 2 minutes. That's crazy.
I mean, he didn't really
get to people all the time, though. Like, my cousin got in a wreck, and he really flew out his back window and didn't even, he barely had any scratches on him.
Really?
I mean, it happens all the time. People get lucky.
So crazy, man. Just to think that he's about to be fighting again. I mean, who knows how soon it is. They may be talking about
like a month ago.
They may be talking about September or later,
But, I mean, at the end of the day,
it's cool that they're talking about it.
Yeah, that's the fight that needs to happen, though. I mean, Spence is on a run, and he's looking unstoppable, and he's looked good against everybody, and same with Crawford. Crawford looks unstoppable. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a weight class difference a little bit, but I don't know.
They'll make it work.
I think it's still a good fight.
I think it needs to happen. At the
end of the day, I'm going to choose Crawford every time because Crawford, I think, is that good. Mm-hmm. I don't know who he loses to, and, I don't even know if Spence is good enough to beat him. Yeah. I'm sure he has the skills, obviously, because he's such a good boxer, but I just don't know if anybody can beat Crawford right now. I'm going to root for Crawford.
I mean, the Spence-Porter fight was like... It was a really good fight. It was a really close fight.
Porter did well, Yeah. I think Crawford would put Porter down in a second. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, anything could happen. Spence is a savage, so...
Yeah.
Anything could happen. So is Crawford. I'd love to see it, and hopefully they make that fight.
Hopefully, yeah.
One of those that just needs to happen for boxing, bro. I mean, those type of fights you just don't pass up on. It's like, you know what I mean?
Andrade Namajunas 2?
Yeah, my girl Rose.
Yeah. Rose about to piece that girl up again.
I'm going to ask her to marry me.
And she ain't finna get dropped on her head this time.
It's not happening. You think she's going to let her pick her up again?
No. Hell no.
Rose was winning that fight.
Dude, she
put just hands all over Andrade. And that shows you, that's why I'm excited to see where this division goes, because you got Weilin, and she's a savage, obviously, after what she did to Andrade. So now we got an Andrade and Rose rematch, and, like...
It sucks that Rose didn't get her title back with this
win. Rose is not getting her title
Whenever
back.
she wins this.
She could have got a rematch.
Yeah. She wanted to just take some time off, which I understand.
It's understandable, but she's getting the rematch either way. And as good as Rose is, I think she has the capability to win this fight and then go and beat Weilin. I mean, I really do. Like, I think she could easily be champ again. Like, I think she's that good. And I think it was just a mishap with her getting slammed on her head like she did against Andrade.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the first time she tried to do it, she was able to lock her down and keep her from lifting her up the way she
that first round, though, she put hands all over Andrade. I mean, Andrade barely even landed a shot, and Rose was on her head. So, I mean, if she comes out like that again, doesn't get slammed on her head, I think she got it.
Yeah, as long as she doesn't get complacent and just stays right there focused and just keeps picking her apart.
Man, it's just, Rose is still super young, too. It's like, she's still growing in her MMA
like
game.
26 or something like that?
She's just one of those that was just like a breakout, like, standout type of talent, and she's still got a lot to work on, though. Of course she's got holes in her game. She's got little stuff like that she's got to work on, and she'll learn from that.
Yeah, that's going to be dope.
Yeah, it'll be a solid fight.
We also got
Corey Anderson.
John Blush was 2.
That'll be a good fight. I think Corey's looking, Corey's really focused right now, you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
I think Corey will get that done.
Yeah, me too.
Blasher's not anybody to play with. He'll definitely knock you out, obviously, and break your jaw, according to Luke Rockhold. But Corey Anderson's just, he's on his game right now, and I think he can beat anybody as well.
I'm rolling.
After what he did to Johnny Walker, I'm on his side. Whatever he can whatever he can do, I'm with it.
Yep, I'm rolling with Corey. I said Diego Sanchez is on that card too.
Old Diego, he's never going to quit fighting. We'll be talking about him in about 20 years sometime. But Diego's got another fight.
Yep.
Always root for him, though.
Yeah, me too. Oh, yeah, we got Paul Felder and Dan Hooker coming up.
Yeah.
There's some bad blood there, man.
Oh, yeah.
These dudes don't like each other at all.
Heavy lately.
It's crazy.
They've been hating super hard.
Yeah. It's so weird that they have so much distaste for each other. And they're both commentators for the UFC.
Yeah, that's what's really weird.
It's like we work together. We work together in more ways than one. Like, we're both fighters. We both work for the same organization, and we both commentate for this organization. Now we're about to fight each other, and we hate each other. It's so weird.
That's the fight game, though. You know what I mean? Like, they know how to separate being like a mature adult with whatever setting they're supposed to be in, and then a week later they can be trying to knock each other's heads off. That's the game they're in. They're used to that. It's just their profession. It's weird for us to look at it because we're like, what the hell? That doesn't even make any sense. But to them, it's just like another day at the office. Like, let's go in there and fight, and then after that we'll be cool again.
Yeah, dude.
They have been talking mad shit to each other.
February's supposed to be lit, man. UFC 247, John Jones, Dominic Reyes, Shevchenko, and Chukagi. That's on February 8th, and then February 15th was the Anderson Blachowicz, and then February 22nd is Hooker and...
Dude, February's lit. We'll have to get some positive in February.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but when it comes to Jones Reyes, I think Jones is going to completely dismantle that dude.
Yeah.
I really do. Like, I think it's a cakewalk for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to hate on Reyes either. He's obviously good enough to beat a lot of guys, and he deserves the position he's in, but like we've already said before, there's not much competition at 205 anymore. I think John's just going to run through him and then be like, okay, what do I do now? Go up to heavyweight.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping he walks through Dominic Reyes, or not walks through, but he beats Dominic Reyes and then decides to go ahead and go up to heavyweight and fight Stipe. That's kind of what I'm hoping to see this year.
It needs to happen. I mean, UFC needs it. John Jones, I think, needs it for his career. At the end of the day, like, fans are going to question whether or not he didn't go to heavyweight if he never did. You know what I mean? Like, it's got to happen at some point. Yeah. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait forever. Like, you're still in your prime. Like, you're still the best. Like, don't wait until you lose at light heavyweight to figure out what the hell's going on. Because eventually a young lion is going to come up and probably beat you.
Hopefully it's not Reyes. Yeah, dude, so we got a lot of good shit coming up. A lot. Hopefully we're gonna get back on our game on this and we'll stay updated with this shit.
Yeah, we'll at least be getting them out every 2 weeks, keep y'all updated on some MMA. Anybody that likes listening to us, we really appreciate it.
Anybody who's still listening or who's gonna listen to this, we appreciate y'all rolling with us.
We got lives and stuff too, and we're doing our best to get out content, and keep the Instagram updated.
With a new job, and our schedules don't line up anymore, so we're trying to make it work. And we've been sick.
I had the flu. It was just a tough couple weeks, But anybody that's rocking with us, we really appreciate it. If you don't mind reaching out, maybe leaving us a review, anything to,
for sure,
get at us. That'd be really awesome.
Before we go, I'm just thinking about, since we didn't really pod towards the end of the last year. What was your fight of the year? Do you have one?
Fight of the year for 19?
I know mine.
Man. I'm trying to think of what all crazy fights there were. There were so many, really.
The one that comes to my mind first, and I'm pretty sure I would pick it even if I reviewed the whole year, is going to be Izzy and Gastelum.
That was a badass fight.
That was such a good fight.
Damn, it was good.
I think that has to be number one for me.
Man, for me, I don't know, dude. I'm trying to think of who all fought. I mean, there were some good fights. There
was a lot of really good fights, but
honestly, bro, I liked. I'm gonna say, really, Khabib Dustin. I think that's one of my favorite fights of the year.
It was a good fight.
Just because it was enjoyable to watch. Like, we were hyped. And
we were so hyped for Dustin.
Especially when Dustin almost sunk that Kimura.
Dude, I was in here like, my adrenaline was rushing. I had some chills the whole time.
We were all on Dustin's side, and we just wanted to see something crazy happen. But
yeah.
I was thinking it ended up being a good fight, and the respect between both of them, that was what made it like one of the best fights to me. Into that, if we're not, that's just me talking about championship fights, like title fights. Now, other fights, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking enjoyed the shit out of Masvidal knocking out Askren. To me, that's a sick fight. Like, you see a knockout.
Masvidal Nate was a great fight too to me.
It wasn't a great fight. Yeah, like Masvidal, and who'd you say?
Nate.
Yeah, him and Nate. Yeah. That was a good fight. That was like a
see that's where the question comes in. Fighter of the year between Masvidal and Izzy.
It's tough.
It's so hard to decide who to give it to because
it's tough because Izzy's been on the come up and done so much, and he's a champion now in 2019. But Masvidal knocked out, had the best knockout ever, probably the fastest one, probably one of the best ever. And he's beaten some of the best ever this year too.
Didn't he have 3 TKOs this year? He had Askren, he had Nate, and didn't he knock out
Was Nate a TKO?
Yeah, TKO doctor stoppage. Who was the first? I'm pretty sure he had 3 wins by TKO this year.
Oh yeah, he knocked out Darren Till.
Oh, Till, that's right. I couldn't remember if it was. Yeah, that's right. Because I was thinking Wonder Boy, but that was Pettis and Wonder Boy.
Yeah, Pettis
knocked out.
That was a good fight too. If we're talking about knockouts,
if we're talking about knockout of the year, holy shit!
That Superman punch from Pettis on Wonder Boy's up there.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Those are all good. And then Masvidal, and there's a lot of good knockouts.
Yeah, there's been some really crazy.
2019 was lit.
Yeah.
I think 2020 is about to be even better though for UFC MMA. Sport's gonna grow more. There's gonna be more crazy fights. It's good for Conor to be back. Sport needs it. Yeah. So I think it's dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be really good. I'm so excited for this year.
Me too, bro.
I'm so excited to get back in the roll of things, get this going again, and just.
Podcast is fun,
sit here and enjoy.
We only have a few people that like to listen to us. I'm happy for. If there's 5 people that listen to us, I'm happy to give them content.
Oh yeah.
Just because I have fun doing it.
Yeah, I'm just happy to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's dope. But yeah, we'll be back in the next week or 2, and we're going to continue to get them out to y'all and just stay in touch with us.
If something crazy happens, we may try to get one out in the in between week. But for the most part,
we can.
For the most part, it's going to be bi-weekly.
But yeah, we'll keep the Instagram updated.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep when a big announcement comes out, you'll hear from us and give us your thoughts and stuff on it. But other than that,
I think that's about it, man.
It's a good comeback pod.
Yeah.
Being off for a little bit. It'll be back in the swing of things though. I'm excited. We got so much coming up in 2020. We'll have plenty to talk about.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be dope, man. But yeah.
Untrained Experts, episode number 34.
34. We'll see y'all next week. Peace. Or 2 weeks, whatever.